Hello, my lovelies. Welcome to your sneak peek for the week. How you doing? I hope you're well. Thank you so much for clicking here. I do appreciate you. And I'm here to read for all of you. Yep, I've got 12 decks to my left, and I'm going to read a little bit from all of them for every sign of the Zodiac in this Gemini season. Happy birthday, Gemini. Just like that, right? It's Gemini season. So thank you so much for clicking here. I do appreciate you. When I read from all of these decks, I'm going to time them all. So there are timings and they are in the description. So if you click on the video, look under the video, there's a description under every single video on YouTube. Click on the description. All the timings are there. Thank you so much for all the ways that you love me, for your hypes, for your thumbs up, which really counts, by the way, to grow this tribe. Thank you for doing that if that's what you are doing. And even if you're just here to show up and say hello just once, that's fine. Thank you so much for doing that. I am here to read from these decks, and I'm going to ask you to stop watching tarot just for your sun sign. Please, please, please stop doing that. You really don't know what kind of Taurus, what kind of Aquarius, what kind of Aries you are unless you really know your moon and your rising sign, which is how you appear to other people. You don't appear as your sun sign. And really, what is your soul about? That's your moon energy. So get to know your astrological information. There's a free natal chart anywhere on the internet. They're everywhere. Look, it's just a few clicks away. And other than that, I do have private reads open. So if you're interested in private reads, they are open. They begin at $25, go up from there. $25 reads come out in about 48 hours. And then click on the link in the pinned comment. So just above all of the comments, there's one pinned comment, and it has a couple of links, one for the membership area and one for private reads. Check out Hypsee. Check out all my times and my packages, the time frames and the costs therein, and I would love to read for you. All right, let's get to it, friends. Let's find out what's going on for you. We're going to start with Aries, of course. Let's find out what's going on with my fire family. Tell me about Aries. Sun, moon, rising, Venus, and Jupiter, not just sun signs, right? Keep in mind, I'm an energy reader. Let's find out what's going on for Aries. Tell me about Aries. Aries, we begin with, the Two of Pentacles. What are you juggling? It feels like there's some sort of juggling going on here, or possibly a decision that's coming out of the brain and into the 3D, which means you're materializing something here. You're actually making it so in the 3D. We've got... Look at that. Got the Tower, friends. So it looks like you are going to make this decision within the next 7 days. And you know what? What 7 days is it? I don't know. Like, are you here today, tomorrow, next year? When are you seeing this? Right? So it feels like when you make this decision, that's when it all shifts for you, Aries. I think I told you something like that in your most recent reading. We do have the Four of Cups. Look, it's going to push you out of a comfort zone, a place that you'd rather not be pushed out of. It's going to make you look at something from a different point of view and act on that thing. So we've got the Strength card. It's going to take a lot of courage, my friend. I feel like you have been holding back making this decision because you're in a comfort zone. Yeah, it does feel like comfort zone energy, and I don't really want to make this decision right now. It doesn't really need to be made right now, but I feel like in order for you to have some sort of a balance, I'm going to say that eventually this Two of Pentacles, this juggling thing that you're doing, trying to keep all the balls in the air, that is going to exhaust you. So you will eventually succumb to exhaustion. The Tower seems to be here to shift you out of some sort of stuck space, which I think is your comfort zone. We've got the Two of Pentacles showing up with the Four of Swords. So it does feel like you are waiting for the clarity of the mind to make some sort of an assessment. Am I going to actually, am I going to advance here? Am I going to plant the seed? It feels like you are about to invest in something new, and it feels like you first need clarity of the mind. So now it feels like, not like you're avoiding it. I don't feel like you're avoiding it, Aries. I feel like you are trying to make a decision, and you're trying to make a really balanced, practical decision. It feels like practicality. I pulled the Ace of Pentacles. I've also got the Two here. To me, you know, I'm always adding shit up, right? So it's the Three Pentacles to me. It's something brand new, or something that you've decided, okay, This has now got stability. Now it's time to take a leap, because the next one out is the Fool energy here. So I feel like you are going to be investing in something, and it feels like something you're pretty sure about. 3 Pentacles, you're pretty sure is going to grow. Now, when we're looking at Pentacles, it is Earth energy, and so it's something that you can touch, hold. Could be a group of people, right? 3 Pentacles can be a group. It can be the workplace. Maybe your career is about to grow. It could be something that you've been trying to stabilize. So you've been getting cooperation. You've been getting collaboration through a group of people, possibly. Could be a soul tribe. Could be people that you're eyeing up as somebody who might be in a soul tribe. It feels like you're about to take a leap. You're just being very careful, slow to act before you take the leap there. The 8 of Wands is here. Before you push forward with velocity, because that's the only way you know how to push forward, is with velocity. Before you do that, my friend, I feel like you're just going to make sure that the plan is in place. 2 of Wands is here. We've got the 8 and the 2, which is 10, and that is releasing a burden. You're putting down some type of burden here in order to be able to take some sort of leap of faith. It does feel like for some of you, it could be a career change. It also could have something to do with money, that you're going to move some money from here to there. You're going to take money, invest it in something, maybe a business, or buying something really large. And I feel like you want to make sure, 3 of Pentacles, Capricorn. Capricorn's not going to miss a thing, because Capricorn is very planned. So I feel like you are somebody who is very planned, and you're being very practical about this thing. I don't think it is something that you are doing out of, I'm just going to do it no matter what you say. I don't think that's what you're doing here. So we've got the Empress who just showed up. And so I feel like the Empress is telling me that this thing is super abundant, but it's going to give you a lot of stability. And it is going to take you to a higher level of your vibration. The thing is that stepping into the Empress energy, more is expected of you. So whether you're the man or the woman, the feminine or the masculine, because look, the Empress is Taurus, which is feminine energy, Libra, which is masculine energy. So no matter what your energy is, I feel like whatever you're about to invest in is going to grow really quickly and give you some sort of a balance, but it's also going to give you autonomy. So it feels like you are trying to follow a plan that I feel like you've been planning for a while, because all these Pentacles are here. Something that you've been very practical about, moving very slow. But once you hit it, once it's time to go and the Fool shows up, it's time to go. We've got the Justice card. It's going to work out, friend. Whatever you're, look, whatever you're going to do, the Fool is here, but I don't think it's a risk for you, because when the Fool's in the upright for me, it is something that you've looked over. It's something, you know, all the risks, and the Fool is really just, sometimes it's exhilarating, it's exciting to start something new, but it's a place that you've never been at before. And I keep doing this because I'm seeing in my mind's eye somebody who's feeling around in the dark. It's like I've never been here before, and that freaks me out more than taking the leap, because I feel like you've already got all your bases covered, and you know that if you invest here, it is going to grow, by proof of the Ace of Pentacles planting the seed, and then the Empress shows up with the Justice card. So it does feel like something here is about to balance out, give you stability, fall into harmony. You're about to restore either your physical or your something in your mind. It feels like you're doing the right thing, because I feel like something's going to be restored. You're going to feel restoration after this. Tell me what the outcome is. The outcome is the High Priestess. I really do think that you know what you're doing. We do have the 4 of Pentacles. It's like the pullback before the leap, right? That's what it feels like. It's like the slingshot, right? We're holding it back, and we've got whatever we've got in our sights, and then we just let it go. So it feels like that the 4 of Pentacles is here, because that's the pullback, and then we got the Fool here, which is, I'm just going to let her fly. That's what it feels like here. And then we've got the Queen of Swords. You've got all the details. Look, the Queen of Swords is also Libra, but it's also someone who's going to be very honest and truthful with themselves, with the people around them. Look, some people probably aren't going to agree with your move, I'm going to say, whatever it is you're about to invest in or move on, or the seed that you're about to plant. It feels like you're very sure. You've looked at all the details, and you know that this is going to bring more balance to your life. What's around the corner for you here? The Queen of Swords is a little bit intimidating, because the Queen of Swords is so highly intelligent, got all the details about everything. With all these Pentacles here, I feel like you do have all the practical details, and I feel like you're going to go with what you know. because you know. And let's find out what's around the corner here. We've got the Ace of Wands. There you are. Yep, that's the action that you needed here. We've got the Four of Wands, and then we have the Six of Wands in the reverse. So I feel as though you're not doing it for the attention. I don't think this is an egoic move for you, Aries. I don't think it is. I feel like this is something that you've always wanted to do, that you've been working on for quite some time with all these pentacles here. It feels like this is something you've always wanted to do, and now is the time to take action. And quite honestly, I think this is celebratory action. We do have the Five of Wands. I really do feel that there is a pullback a little bit here, like at the last second, it's like, yeah, clutching the pearls. Gosh, is this going to work? Like, that's what it feels like. The Six of Wands is in the reverse. And I think that I'm going to say you're doing it for the right reasons, because I don't think that you're doing this out of ego. Last card, what is it? It is Page of Pentacles. So I feel like you are at the beginning of something. It feels like somebody's offered you something, or you're about to offer something to someone else. But it feels like this is going to work out because you've practiced all the details. It feels like you've practiced. You could be a musician. Look, there's a lot of Libra energy here. You could be a musician, but I feel like it's something, either you've memorized it, because the Queen of Swords is a public speaker. So I feel like you might be speaking in front of some people. You might be getting paid to do that. It might be a paid speaking gig. I'm going to say that not all of what you've written down you're going to go with, because the High Priestess is here, which is telling me that you kind of know it by heart, or you're just going to speak from the heart, or speak from the knowledge of your intuition, because the Queen of Swords is here with the High Priestess. We've got the Six of Cups. It feels like it's something that you've always wanted to do. It's in your memory bank, and it's something that you that feels a little bit nostalgic. It's like I've tried to do this for so long, and now all of a sudden I get to do it. So we do have, Leo energy here. We've got Aries for sure a couple times. We've got Libra and Taurus is here. Sagittarius, more Aries. We've got Aquarius energy. More Leo. Look, you're going. It could be in Leo season. Look, it could be close to the end of July. These are sneak peeks for the week, but understand that time is not linear. Not everything I say is going to happen within 7 days. We've got the Tower. Look, I feel like you're being shoved into all of this, because I think that you would wait. I think that you would hold back, and I think that you would wait. We've got Piscean energy with the High Priestess, and we've got Scorpion energy. So it does feel like you're going to go with your intuition. I feel like it's going to work out for you. I feel like whatever you're trying to grow is going to grow. Yep. All right. Taurus. Thanks for the beautiful season, Taurus. Hope you had a beautiful Taurus season. And for those of you who I didn't get to say your last happy birthdays, let's find out what's going on for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter signs. The next 7 days, Taurus. Let's find out what's going on for you. Next 7 days for Taurus, please. Next 7 days, Taurus. Starting with the Two of Cups. What's going on here? Let's find out what's going on here, Taurus. The thing is with me is, you guys know I don't always read for love, right? Not every reading is about love. I'm not a 1D reader. If it really does end up being a love reading, you know it's for real, because I'm not the person who just sees it through the lens of love. We've got alongside of this Two of Cups, the Hermit. Somebody's thinking about you, I think. And the connection they have with you. We've got the Six of Pentacles. Are you going into a social place soon? What else? And we've got the Judgment card. Taurus, I feel like it does feel like you've either been thinking about someone or they've been thinking about you, and it could be both, because the Two of Cups is mutual back and forth, right? This is emotional energy. This could be, because this is Cancer energy that we're talking about, it could be psychic energy, or it could be that we're connecting in the 5D. It could be like we're connecting, it's like somebody you can't get off your mind. But it feels like with the Hermit energy, somebody's thinking about deepening a bond with you, or maybe you're thinking about deepening a bond. I feel like it's someone thinking about you, if I'm being honest. And we've got the Six of Pentacles here. It feels like this person is somebody who is ready and willing to give you some sort of reciprocal energy. The Judgment card is here. It feels like they've been trying to forget you, but it keeps poking them in the head. Hey, what about Taurus? That's what it feels like. So the judgment card is whatever's meant for you will never pass you by, but also the decision made within the judgment energy is something that takes you on a completely different path. I feel like you're not expecting for your path to change. That's what it feels like. Tell me about the Two of Cups. We've got the Queen of Wands. So there is an attraction here. There's not only an emotional bond that's, it almost feels like somebody craves that from you, an emotional bond. But there is a physical attraction for sure with the Queen of Wands here. It also makes me feel like somebody's ready to make a bold move, whether they fall down, scrape their knees or not. They don't care if they win or not. They're going for it, is what it feels like. They sure are. Look at that. Got the Fool. The Fool and the Queen of Wands here. So the question is, will you jump? That's the question here. Because I think somebody here is ready to jump, ready to say something, someone you haven't been in communication with. And I don't think there's no cards here that indicate that anything terrible has gone on, like a fight or an argument or a breakup or any of that dramatic stuff. It feels simply like someone was sort of shelved, put on the shelf. And it feels as though this person might have put themselves in the Five of Pentacles, but they're feeling the disconnection. They feel like you have your back to them. Yeah, look at that. The Five of Pentacles and the Fool card. Somebody feels like you've gone on without them, or that you have a, probably that you have other people that are seeking your attention, friendship, something like that. But they feel like you've turned your back on them, is what it feels like here. And this person, I feel, is realizing that if this is gonna pan out, I've really got to give Taurus some energy, the same kind of energy that Taurus gives me. I've got the World card, I've got the Hierophant, and the Six of Swords. So this person thinks you've already moved on. And some of you may have, but this person thinks that you've already moved on, and the World card is here. So they're thinking, oh, there's just no way. Taurus isn't going to talk to me again. I think this is done with. They see you as someone who is really, like they should have reached out for a commitment before now. The Hierophant's here, but it's here with the Six of Swords. So they think you've moved on for a commitment with somebody else. And they feel like this is probably over, that the door is closed. We've got the Eight of Wands, but they're going to try it anyway. Look, if there's any sort of a brave soul that I've ever seen, it's Sag, right? Sag is the adventurer. Sag is also the Queen of Wands, the person who's willing to take a big, bold move and has scraped their knees before. They just, carry a first aid kit in their backpack. That's all. So it feels like somebody here is ready to push forward. It's almost as if they feel that you left or pulled your energy away, or that you're not thinking about them anymore, but it feels like they're thinking about you. All the things you said, all the details. Like with the Hermit energy being here with the Two of Cups, somebody is really sort of deepening a connection on their side. So it feels like more and more they think about you and the details and the conversations and the things you said and all of that. It feels like that this person wants to move forward. They're trying to catch up with you before you say yes to someone else, whether you have someone else in your life or not, I don't know. But let's see what the outcome is. The outcome is the Four of Pentacles. It is the Ace of Cups. Now, if y'all have been watching me for any length of time, this deck, this one here, this deck, this Ace of Cups tells me something a little bit different than just the beginning of an emotional connection. This Ace of Cups tells me a surprise, because you never really expect to see a pearl in the oyster. In fact, it's quite rare to see a pearl in the oyster, but you understand that the only way that the oyster gets in the pearl, or the pearl gets in the oyster, is because of irritation, granules of sand. And so the oyster tries to protect itself by covering it, and as it goes in circles and circles, everything solidifies and it becomes this beautiful gem. So I feel like you're about to be surprised by someone who's been holding back. And with the Four of Pentacles here, it feels like you're about to be surprised with them showing you some emotions. Now, it feels like this person is someone who doesn't usually show emotions. So I think that's why you will be surprised about these particular emotions. We have the Four of Swords. Somebody has gained some clarity. It feels like somebody has been healing their heart. I do see the Ace of Cups as being the heart space. And so it feels like somebody's been healing their heart or figuring out whether they're healed enough to be able to give you their energy. Tell me what's around the corner. We've got the Queen of Swords in the reverse. Is that you? Are you going to give them what for? Is that what you're going to do? We've got the Strength. Oh, no. Taurus, you know this just gave me? It just gave me, yeah? You're brave now, right? Now you got all this courage. Now you're brave. That's what it gives me. Like the Queen of Swords is really going to be wondering why this person is so brave. I feel that you will be very honest and truthful with this person. And I'm just going to say they're finding the courage to come forward. Knight of Cups is in the reverse. I think they're gaining clarity here. When I see the Knight of Cups is sort of a, you know, the person who wanders along the path and is dreaming about sunsets and walking into the sunset or riding off into the sunset with somebody. That's the dreamy fantasy sort of thing. But when I see the Knight of Cups in the reverse, especially this one, you can see how this person's got a bunch of chess pieces, right? This person has no plan. Like they have no plan. They're planning, as far as they're planning, is that I want to see Taurus again. So I don't know if they know your movements or if you're part of a group, a friend group or something like that, because the Six of Pentacles is here. But this person, I feel, has become clear about something. Even though they don't have a plan, they've become clear about how they feel and they no longer want to meander and take all sorts of detours. I don't think they want to do that anymore. Last card out is the King of Wands in the reverse. So this person is somebody who's not been pursuing you. In the future, we've got emotional celebration, stability of emotions. And I think, Taurus, for those of you who are following the I don't chase, let them come after me, I'm talking to you. I'm not talking to you, those ones who are, should I chase that one? Should I chase this one? Should I tell them how I feel? This is somebody that you've turned your back on. This is somebody who you decided, no, I don't need to settle for that. And I feel like this person is showing up with stable emotions to approach you to see if you're willing to be pursued. The King of Wands is coming in the reverse, which means this person hasn't been taking action. And I think that they're wondering how you're going to feel when they just show up. So I don't think they're showing up at your house. Let's get that straight. I don't think they're showing up at your house, but I do feel that this person, because of the Six of Pentacles, probably knows your movements. And because of the Judgment card, this situation's not leaving them alone until they finally get a yes or a no. So I don't care which one you're planning on, but this person is going to give it a shot. The Fool is here. They've never done this before. It feels like somebody who's never really done the true pursue. Like they've never really pursued what they wanted before. And I feel like you pulling away or turning your back on them has really put them in this, wait a second, you can't just walk away. Like it feels like that. We got Virgo energy here. We've got Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. We've got some Gemini energy, Pisces. We've got more Leo energy. We've got Taurus, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, Virgo, and Pisces. We've got Capricorn energy, Libra, Sagittarius, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. We've got Aries energy. We've got Cancer energy, more Capricorn, Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. Look, Queen of Wands is in the upright, but the King of Wands is in the reverse. Somebody wants to match your energy, but they're worried that you're going to give them what for, because the Queen of Swords is in the reverse. When the Queen of Swords is in the reverse, the Queen's not saving your feelings. So I feel like they just don't want to hear the truth, is what it is. And just like that, it is Gemini season. Oh, look. We got the Six of Cups that just fell off the deck. So we'll see how if that comes into play here. But happy birthday, friends. How are you? Let me know when your birthday is. I want to say happy birthday to you. And happy Gemini season. Let's find out what's going on for you. My Gemmies. I had a beautiful Gemini weekend. Two of my favorite people came over, my two Gemini friends, and I really enjoyed having witty banter with them. It's my favorite, witty banter. Let's find out what's going on for you. Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. All right. We've got the Queen of Pentacles that's come out in the reverse. We've got the devil energy here. We've got the 7 of Swords in the reverse. And then we've got the Knight of Pentacles. You know what it feels like? You're about to figure something out. It feels like something is about to show up and you're about to see the ugliness for what it is, Gemini. This does feel like Uranus and Gemini. I'm just saying, I feel like something you were pretty sure about is actually not what it is. It feels like with the devil here, with the 7 of Swords in the reverse, that tells me like a secret is coming out and it's pretty corrupt or toxic. It feels like it is something that could have to do with money. Look, the Queen of Pentacles is here. She's not just money. She's time, effort, energy, money, career. It feels like and the 7 of Swords is right underneath the Queen of Pentacles. So it feels like whatever is showing up as something that's being revealed, it's like a secret that's being revealed. It does have something to do with how wealthy someone was. Maybe they're not as wealthy as you think they are, or you thought that they were like, they had way more than enough, and then all of a sudden they go into bankruptcy, or they're losing their house, or their car gets repoed. Like it feels like something is becoming really clear to you that I feel has been traveling for a really long time. Yeah, I'm just going to say the 7 of Swords in the reverse and the devil makes me feel like somebody's about to get their karma, and I don't think it's you. Tell me about the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. Someone is not as stable as you thought they were. And whether that is someone gets fired from your workplace, I don't think it's you. I feel like it's somebody outside of you. We've got the Hierophant here. It has to do with their stability. You know what? It feels to me like it has to do with something. You might have said to them, look, don't do that. Don't do that, because that's going to be something that you will regret if you do that. And I feel like they did that. I feel like it's now affecting their commitments, their financial commitments, their work commitments. It feels like it could be about corporation. This could be something that's going on in your work. Your work could announce that there's going to be a very big layoff. I don't see anything here that says that you're in jeopardy of any of this. We've got the 8 of Cups. Somebody's turning their back on some sort of commitment or a corporation. Someone might be leaving. You might hear that the CEO is just gone. Or the person that used to work next to you for 20 years just decided to walk out because look who's here. Gemini. Look, now this is Gemini energy, and the Knight of Swords tells me that you're going to hear about this really soon. And you're going to hear about somebody walking away from a commitment. So this could be somebody outside of you. It feels like you're going to hear about it because the Knight of Swords is here, and it feels like it comes to you and you can't stop it from arriving. So it feels like somebody just blurts it out. Like you're out with friends and someone just blurts out, hey, did you know that Kevin and Julie are no longer together? Like it feels like it's information you find out about somebody else. It does feel like it's on the outside of you, but it feels like there is... this could be family as well, but it does feel like maybe between two people who are married, or something is going down at your workplace. Somebody is walking out, walking away, going out in a blaze of glory. It might be over not getting a raise. Look, this could be you. Maybe you're walking out because you didn't get a raise. The Ace of Pentacles is in the reverse. It feels like somebody feels like they're not getting reciprocal energy on putting in time, effort, energy, money. Could be a career, or maybe somebody's leaving to go to a different career to get paid more. So it does, and you know what? I'm talking a lot about money when it comes to you, just in the last few readings that I've done for you, but I really do feel that this Gemini season for you is going to be one of wealth. I really do feel that there is going to be something that is going on with your money, and I think it's very positive for you. So I could be telling you that somebody is getting fired or leaving your job or walking away because maybe you're the one that's going to get promoted to the place, in their place. The 8 of Pentacles is here, and that's the subject matter expert, the person who's worked so hard on themselves, the person who's worked really hard to be the person that everybody comes to because they know you have the correct information. That's Virgo energy, and Virgo doesn't miss a thing. But we've got the 8 of Pentacles, and we've got the 1 pentacle next to it, which is the 9. You're confident. You're a leader. You're somebody who can take care of the situation in the case that somebody who's been a permanent fixture, Hierophant, who's been a permanent fixture there. It feels like It feels like you might be asked to take their place. The Queen of Swords is here. Look, that's the person, to me, the Queen of Swords is the person who, can you come into my office, please? Like it's that person. This person may not be doing the hiring, firing, because to me, that's the King of Swords. But I feel like the Queen of Swords is about to tell you exactly what's going on. So I don't think you'll be left in the dark. I think that the Queen of Swords is here to tell you what's going on. I think somebody is probably leaving your workplace. And I'm going to say blaze of glory, but to me, blaze of glory is, you know what? Screw you. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm out. Like that way. So it doesn't feel like somebody's given in their resignation. It feels like they just stood up and walked out and said, I'm done with everybody. We've got the Judgment card here. Yep, they're going to tell you about a judgment. So I feel like because the Eight of Pentacles is here, Ace of Pentacles is here, even though the Ace of Pentacles is in the reverse, it feels like something has not yet been invested in yet. Because the Eight of Pentacles is here. I feel like you've invested in yourself, but externally it feels like somebody in possibly your workplace has not yet invested in you, but then the Queen stands up. The only reason that the Queen is liberating themselves is to get balance. That's Libra energy. I need to say what I need to say. I need to tell you everything that's going on here. The Judgment card is here. This person has known that you're the person for the job all along because you're in the Eight of Pentacles, which is, I know the analytics. I know every answer to every question you could ever ask me. Maybe you're a person who's an accountant there and now you're going to be the chief financial officer. It feels like a raise because we go from an Ace of Pentacles in the reverse to the Eight of Pentacles. So it does feel like it might be a significant raise, but I think it's because someone else has made the decision to leave. So the Judgment card tells me that this opportunity keeps coming around, but they don't pick you. Even if you're the person who has applied for the job, they don't pick you. I think this time they pick you. Tell me what the outcome is. We've got the Five of Cups, the Emperor. So it does feel like somebody who's very significant, like in your life, in your workplace, somebody who has had a long time commitment to something. It feels like the Emperor walks out. That's what it feels like. Somebody of significance. Yep. And they do it quickly. Look at that. The Ace of Wands is here. It feels like it is walking out. It's a walkout. But it does feel like it's the top dog. Like maybe it's the chief executive officer or the chief financial officer. There's a lot of pentacles here. So it has to do with money. And this has been coming for a really long time. So I think that you're about to find out what has been going on, because I feel like you've been dealing with murmurings, Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. It feels like you've been hearing murmurings of things going on about somebody who might want to leave. I think this person leaves in an emotional way. Yeah, like I think their emotions take them over and they're out. Tell me what's around the corner. Ooh, the Tower. Nine of Cups. And the Justice card. Look, this works out good for you. I feel like this really does make space for you. Look at that. It feels like something shifts into your wish fulfillment and gives you a lot of balance here. It feels like it restores something. What does it restore? It restores your happiness. So it feels like it's something that restores your emotional happiness. So it feels like a place maybe you were thinking of leaving yourself, that finally something here comes through. Sorry, I got something in my eye. That finally here something comes through and you finally get the thing that you wanted after a long period of fighting for it. Look, you're next in line. Look, if the Emperor's out of the way, who's going to run the empire? It's the Empress. The Empress has all the training. So I feel like you are going to beat out the competition, because it feels like there's a lot of competition for the space of the Empress. Look, that came out at the very, remember that dropped out of the deck when we first started reading here. And I feel like it's because you have the experience. This is nostalgic. This is stuff that you bring in from the last life. Like it feels like they know that you're the person for the job. You're the one that's most clear about the data, clear about what should go on. That's what it feels like. We do have Capricorn. Gosh, I got hair in my face. What's going on? Okay, we got Capricorn, Pisces, we got Virgo, and more Pisces, Libra. Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, because it's the Queen. We've got more Libra. It looks like we've got some Piscean energy again. We've got Scorpio and Aquarius. More Pisces energy. I think you knew this was coming. That's what it feels like, that with this Piscean energy here, that you knew this was coming. We've got Aries energy and Scorpio energy. Yeah, it does feel like you had a hunch that something was going on under the surface, and it's about to be revealed to you here with the Seven of Swords in the reverse. All right, Cancer, let's find out what's going on with you. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Cancer in the next 7 days. Oops. Tell me about Cancer. Cancer, we start with the Ace of Pentacles. All right, got things that are jumping around. Oh, the Devil's in the reverse. Look, I have a feeling it might have been in the deck in the upright because I don't know if you saw it, it jumped over my arm and then went upside down. And so it's in the reverse. I really like that because to me, when the Devil's in the reverse, no matter what the situation is, no matter what's around it, it's a release of something. And what we have next is the Ace. The first card out was the Ace of Pentacles. I feel like there is some money being released to you. So if you've applied for the loan, something that maybe you've got equity in your house that you want to pull out of the house. It feels like something here is being released that was bound. We've got the Eight of Wands. It's probably happening pretty quick. You're about to get communication, a phone call. I think that you felt like, I don't know if this is ever going to work. I'm going to take a shot though. I don't know if this is going to work. And then we have the Star energy. So the Star energy, of course, is hope. I think that you're hopeful that this request that you've made to either pull some money out of your house, or you've maybe made a request for a loan or something that you're going to purchase, I think it's released to you, probably. Tell me more. We've got the Six of Swords. It's going to take you from a place of chaos to the calm. So I feel like whatever this Ace of Pentacles is something you really needed, something that is going to make your life a lot easier, or at least calmer. We have the Five of Pentacles. You might have been down to your last few cents, or maybe that your finances are, maybe you've taken a hit in your finances, right? The Five of Pentacles can be that. It feels like you need to get out of this space because I feel like it's giving you nightmare fuel. Like it feels like the Six of Swords telling me you've been living in chaos for a while. So maybe your nervous system's been lit up about this for a while. We've got the Ten of Swords. So I feel like this is coming to an end. I really love that. It's very plain to me that the Five of Pentacles is what is being released here. I feel like that you've been worrying about money. It feels like somebody betrayed you, though. I'm going to say that maybe you lent a lot of money to someone and they didn't give it back, or maybe you're someone who's in the midst of a divorce, or it feels almost as if the reason that you don't have a lot of money, if this is about money at all, it feels like the reason that you've been left on the outside looking in is because of the Ten of Swords, and the Ten of Swords is painful. It's painful coming to the end of this cycle. I never thought that this would happen, but it's also Five of Pentacles could be money, right? But it could be time, effort, energy, health. Maybe you were in bad health, and I feel like that's going to be released. So whatever it is for you, it feels like there is, I feel like somebody is coming in to help, because the first card that I pulled was the Ace of Pentacles, and then the Five of Pentacles came up right above it. So it feels like you are going to get reciprocal energy on whatever you've asked for in terms of pentacle stuff. We've got the Hierophant. It's right above the Hierophant here on the table is the Ten of Swords. So for somebody here, it could be you've been betrayed in a marriage, or you've been betrayed in a commitment. It feels like that. And I think it was a surprise. The Page of Cups is here. I think that the Page of Cups is, oh boy, geez, yeah. It feels like here that somebody surprised you here. It feels like you didn't expect it, because the Knight of Swords is here with the Page of Cups. It feels like it is something that you didn't expect to happen, but now it has. It really either financially kicked you in the ass, or maybe it was time, effort, energy. Could be a health thing, right? It feels like you put a lot of effort into this to make things stable. And the shocking thing is the Knight of Swords, because you're getting some information that you didn't have before. It feels like something comes at you and blindsides you. And I feel like it has to do with the Hierophant energy. So that could be corporation, it could be a job, it could be information that you didn't expect in terms of a commitment that you made to somebody. We do have the Fool. It's going to allow you to take a different a different turn in your life on a different path. So it's going to allow you to heal and to, once this information shows up, it's going to surprise you, but I feel like it puts you on a completely different path. It's a place you've never been before, which makes you a little nervous. But it does feel like it is something that is very, Ten of Pentacles is the outcome. It's very worth it, I'm going to say. Whatever the pain is or the betrayal was that you went through, it feels like whatever's about to happen in your outcome, it almost feels like, okay, well, if somebody would have told me at the end that if I endure this, it's all going to work out this way, then I think that I would be okay to have to go through that. We do have the Temperance card. Look, Temperance card is here with the Ten of Pentacles. I feel like if this is a job, time, effort, energy, if it has something to do with your health, it feels like something is about to be healed. So it feels like finances are healed, or if you've been really unwell, something is about to come through and heal you. We do have the King of Pentacles. There is financial stability now, but I do feel like there is somebody here who has betrayed you, hurt you, lied to you, and it ended up taking its toll on your health, or your time, or your effort, or your energy, or money. Tell me what's around the corner, please, for Cancer. We've got the Six of Pentacles, we've got the King of Cups, and we have the Eight of Swords. So it does feel like if this is something to do with a commitment with another human, it does feel like somebody was not giving you reciprocal energy, because the King of Cups is here and is very stoic and doesn't usually show their feelings unless they're really, really ready to be truthful and honest, unless they really trust you. The Eight of Swords is here. I think you're wondering what's going on. It does feel like for some of you, not all of you, that this is probably something, I'm not calling you out on your relationship not working out in the future. What I'm saying is if you're already in this, it feels like somebody is no longer giving you reciprocal energy emotionally, and that might have been your first clue that they were pulling away from this commitment. The Eight of Swords, and you're like, what's going on? Like, what's going on here? Yeah, the Judgment card is here. And so the thing is that I think that you knew that things weren't working out, but I think you were waiting for someone else to pull the plug. And I think that they did. And I think it hurt like hell. And I'm sorry you went through that. The Judgment card tells me that this thing kept coming up. It kept coming back and coming back and coming back. And I feel like you just left it. It's like, I'm not leaving. I'm the Hierophant. I'm very loyal. I'm not leaving here. So I feel like you were waiting to ride it off into the ditch, I think is what it was. You're waiting for someone else to pull the plug, and just did your best to keep it as much as you could, keep the car on the road. I feel like this unfortunately does implode. I feel like it really does. Whatever the commitment is about could be different for all of you. And it feels like it does work out to a place where you do have stability, healing, more money than you need. You have a clear future. You can now build for the future. We have the Sun here. And so it feels like something is revealed to you. The Three of Pentacles is here, that I feel like you still have people in your life who are committed to cooperating and collaborating with you. You still have your job. I feel like you're going through all the things. Look, this was a really hurtful and terrible time, but I feel like what's revealed to you is really the things that, the Three of Pentacles, the things that really mean the most to you. Yeah, friendships, community, that kind of thing. It puts your focus on the things that you already have in your life. All right, we've got Pisces and Virgo here. We've got Aquarian energy. We've got Aries, Gemini. Got Cancer and Taurus, more Aquarius. We've got Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer. We've got Gemini energy. We've got Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, more Capricorn, and Gemini energy here with Leo. I think in hindsight, it feels, Cancer, that you are going to realize that this was the best move, even though you weren't ready for it and it hurt a lot. And I'm sorry if it did. I feel like you realize, once you have 2020, and we all do after we get out of the situation, I think you're going to realize that this was the best thing. Leo, fire family. How you doing, friends? Let's talk about Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Leo. Your time is coming, friend. When Jupiter leaves Cancer, travels through your sign in midsummer, mid-June, sometime in Gemini season. It's going to be on. Let's find out what's going on for Leo. All right. Got the Three of Swords and the Four of Wands. There's discord here. Tell me more about this. We've got the Nine of Pentacles. We've got the Star. I feel like you're trying to heal something here that has disappointed you or broken your heart. The Star is here with the Three of Swords. I want to say that whatever this was made you feel very vulnerable. It caught you at a really vulnerable time. The Nine of Pentacles is here and it's next to the Four of Wands. It tells me here that you're confident that you can keep your stability even though this has kind of rocked you in a heartbreaking way. I'm going to say there's something here that you're very disappointed about, and it's really made you feel... Okay, I'll tell you what I'm seeing. Charlie's showing me, in my mind's eye, I'm seeing someone in like an old dusty Western movie. And they're peeking out from behind the rocks. It feels like that you're confident enough to get close enough to the carnage, but you are also confident enough to know that you can keep yourself safe. But it's really ripped open this feeling of vulnerability. And I don't think you like that feeling of vulnerability. The Nine of Pentacles is here. We could be talking about someone who has broken up with someone, or someone has broken up with you, because the Three of Swords is here, and so is the Star next to the Nine of Pentacles. You're trying to convince yourself that you're never going to be vulnerable again. I'm just going to be on my own, build my own thing, do my own thing. That's where the only place I'm going to find my stability. Four of Wands. Tell me about this Three of Swords, please. We've got the Knight of Cups. Yeah, it does. That's touching the Three of Swords, so it does feel like it's heartbreak emotionally here. We've got the Ace of Swords, but this has really brought you to a place of realization or given you clarity on something. Tell me what this is. We've got the Hermit energy. I feel like you knew something was up. You know, whenever there's a relationship that's breaking down, even if it's a friendship or something's going on in the workplace, whatever the Nine of Pentacles is representing here, we know when it's going down. You know when it's going down, Leo. You are quite my psychic little friend here. Usually the fixed signs are, and it feels like with this Hermit energy that you had a clarity about what was about to go down before it happened. I think it has to do with something that you wished would work out better. So it feels like you saw the potential in something. You saw the potential in something and it made you happy at the moment. Your heart was full. It feels like it does have something to do with how you felt about it. It could be romantic feelings because the Knight is here, but it feels as though you got great clarity in the Hermit energy about what was actually going on here. It feels like somebody really made you feel vulnerable and then pulled it all away. It's like the carpet was pulled out from under you. We've got the Knight of Pentacles. This feels like this was probably a long-term connection. We've got the Three of Pentacles. This could be something about the workplace. It could be that you felt that somebody pulled the rug out from under you here. We've got the Devil energy next to the Three of Pentacles. I want to say that let's look at it from a relationship point of view, and it feels like you thought you knew this person. There was no way you didn't know the kind of person they were, because the Three of Pentacles is here. This is a person who gave you years, possibly 3 years, of cooperation, collaboration, trust, moving slow, being stable, like teaching you things. You taught them things. The Knight of Pentacles is next to the Three of Pentacles, so it feels like this went on for quite a long time. It's like, I need to be sure. But I think what you didn't count on was the Devil. The Devil's here with the Three of Pentacles. This person had done this before. When I see the Devil, it's a loop. And I feel as though you may have at some point felt like you couldn't trust the situation. There was doubt. I feel like you pushed the doubt away until you went into Hermit energy. Ace of Swords is next to the Hermit, and you got clarity or an aha moment here, a realization. Yep, and it was almost like the realization happened just before the moment arrived. So I feel like you did realize at a moment before everything went to shit. You realized in a moment, oh shit, I fell in love with potential again. Whatever that was. You trusted something and fell in love with potential. Tell me what the outcome is. We've got the 10 of Pentacles. Look, you're going to be fine. Yeah. We've got, oh, look, the 2 of Cups. I think that this person, sometimes we feel like, oh, that didn't work again. I'm never going to date again. I'm never going to love again. But I feel like this person was pulled out of the way at the right time. And sometimes it happens that way because you're a fixed sign and nothing would have moved if the universe didn't move you. That exact thing happened when I left my job, when I left my corporate job of a very long time, over 10 years. And when I got up and walked out, I think it was the end of October. And by January 1st, the world shut down, went into shutdown, right? That was at the end of 2019. And so I thought when I walked out of there, what the hell am I doing? I'm just screwing everything up. I'm leaving my longtime career to go start a business. And it was the universe moving me out of the way. So I think this is what it is for you. That's what it feels like. The universe was actually moving someone out of the way. It feels like they were supposed to hurt you, to teach you a lesson. I'm sorry to say that. But it feels like this person was somebody that I feel like you trusted them in a practical sense. But I feel like there was something here that you couldn't put your finger on. Yeah. So with the 10 of Cups, the 10 of Pentacles and the 2 of Cups, I feel like this person was pulled out of your way because the long-term connection is coming. Somebody who you really can trust with all of your emotional secrets. And of all of those that fell on my arm, these are all face down, but this is the only one face up. It's your energy. And the outcome shows up like this. Look at that beautiful outcome. So I'm sorry if you went through this. It might be something that already happened, but I think that what's happening in the future is it's about to be revealed to you that the reason that this whole thing didn't work out for you or you ended up getting hurt in this whole thing, it's because it wasn't for you. You wanted it to be for you, Knight of Cups. You sort of fantasized about it. You saw the potential of it. And I think that it actually wasn't supposed to be for you, but I think you just wanted to feel something. And I think that the Hermit is here with the Ace of Swords saying, but you were in a moment thinking, oh, no, I won't think that way. That's what it feels like. What's around the corner is the Ace of Wands, the 5 of Wands, and the Empress. There you go. I feel like that you are supposed to meet someone who is just as giving as you. Look, Leo, I have a son that's a Leo, and he just is the person who overgives all the time. So I feel like you're supposed to meet someone like that, and that's the Empress. I feel like you're supposed to stop beating yourself up, 5 of Wands. The Ace of Wands is here because something very exciting is about to show up in your wheelhouse here. The Lovers. The Lovers is next to the Empress. Yeah. So something here is about to show up. Try and cover all that. Something here is about to show up for you, friend, and it's way more abundant than you could ever imagine. I think that you were pulled away and you were supposed to move forward. 3 of Wands. You were supposed to move forward, but until you got an understanding of it until you got the proof, until you got the details, until you saw this person for who they were, that was the only way. Yeah, I feel like it's harsh words too. I feel like it's when I see the Devil next to the Knight of Swords, that's like eviscerating words. Yeah. Until it proved itself to you, I don't think that you were going anywhere. But look, I feel like this whole thing was supposed to break down because something really lovely is coming in your future. We've got the Empress, we've got Taurus and Libra. We've got Gemini energy and Capricorn. We've got more Capricorn energy. We've got Aquarian energy. Virgo, Pisces, Leo, Cancer energy. We've got more Virgo energy. So I think that you're like, but I went over all the damn details. I knew this. I knew everything about them. I was really, really sure. Yeah, I don't think that it was supposed to work out, and that's why I didn't. Let's talk about you, Virgo. How you doing, Virgo? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me all about Virgo. Tell me about Virgo in the next 7 days, please. Tell me about Virgo. Virgo, we start with the Queen of Pentacles in the upright. We've got the Two of Pentacles. Do you have a money-making idea? That's what it feels like. It feels like somebody here is going back and forth about when do I make my decision. The Queen of Pentacles is here. When do I make my decision about taking out that money, making a really big purchase? When do I get on that health kick that I said I was going to get on? Feels like a decision is being made here under the Three of Pentacles, which is in an effort to get stability. We have the Seven of Cups. Maybe you're not quite sure about making the decision just yet. We have the Queen of Cups. It feels like this is, got the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups. It feels like this is attached to your emotions somehow, Virgo. We've got the Seven of Cups. It feels like you're emotionally overwhelmed with making a decision that has to do with either a really big purchase or, you know, it's Queen of Cups or Queen of Pentacles energy, right? It's time, effort, energy, money, career. It could be your health. It feels like you're making a really big decision, but are feeling Seven of Cups, overwhelmed emotionally because you want to do the right thing. The Queen of Cups is here. We've got the Seven of Wands coming up above the head of the Queen of Pentacles. And this is an interesting Seven of Wands. You see, they all have different depictions, right? And it feels like you're about to get a realization. A light's about to go on, and it feels like that there is, it feels like you are about to get some sort of a realization here. To stand up for yourself here, we've got the Six of Wands and the Two of Swords. So it does feel like there is some sort of a block. It feels as though you've got the idea, the big idea, but it feels like the Six of, is that Wands or Swords? Give me a second here. No, it looks like swords here. No, those aren't wands. Those are swords. It's kind of hard to tell because it's this deck, right? It looks like it's wands. It feels like Six of Swords. It feels like the Six of Swords is moving. So I feel like you stand up, you're seen, you say something, your big ideas here, you get this realization of something. I think that you're removing a block and moving forward from somewhere here. It does feel like it is going from some sort of chaotic place where you felt like you couldn't stand up for yourself, or you felt like you couldn't mention your big idea. But it does feel like this block here is being removed so you can move forward here. This Two of Swords energy. It's saying use your intuition to know when to move, out of the way or forward on something. Oh, the Wheel of Fortune's here. So look, when the Wheel of Fortune is here, you feel it. It's a shift of energy. It's like you're, oh yeah, I could get around it this way. All of a sudden you have great clarity. The Wheel of Fortune is here because expansion is here. But listen, everything has to change. And I don't know if you're that big of a fan of change, but it does feel like there is a decision that you're about to make that's going to change everything. It's going to expand. It's right next to the Queen of Pentacles. It's going to expand your money. It feels like it's going to be better for your health. Maybe your mental health, because we've got swords up here. 6 and 2 is 8 swords. We've got the 8 of Cups. And we've got the Chariot, but you're going to have to leave something behind. I feel like you never thought that you would leave here. That's what it feels like. I never thought that I would leave this behind. I never thought I would leave this cycle. I never thought I'd leave this relationship, this job, whatever it is. But I feel like once the Wheel of Fortune shows up and removes that block for you, the Eight of Cups is next. So you are definitely detaching from somewhere emotionally and walking away, getting in the chariot and getting the hell out of there. It feels like emotional discipline, I'm going to say. Once you stop feeling overly emotional, because the Queen of Cups is here with the Seven of Cups, once you detach your emotions from the outcome of the situation, it feels like that's what frees you up. That's what removes the block here and takes you to a calmer place. But something really grand is about to happen when the Wheel of Fortune shows up. It is fortunate things, right? Fortunate change. It brings fortunate change. You've got Justice. I kind of like that. Because now it feels like something is about to be restored for you. So something's about to be said in your favor. If this is a legal thing we're talking about, something's about to be said in your favor. It feels like with Justice, something's about to be restored. Balance is about to be restored, it feels like, in your life. And the Chariot here also is discipline. So I feel like disciplining your emotions while you're going through the change, destined change, and everything is expanding, including your money, because the Queen of Pentacles is here. It feels like that is the reward. Tell me what the outcome is here. We've got the Star, we've got the Eight of Wands, and we've got the Five of Swords. So I feel like even though you may not be quite sure about whether or not this is going to work out for you, I feel like you're taking a step forward anyway, because the Chariot's here with the Eight of Cups. It feels like I need to get my feelings out of this, and I need to make a decision that is in Swords. And I think that you do. The Star is here, healing, and the Eight of Wands. It feels like you're moving forward, and it's in a very healing way, a hopeful way. You're very hopeful that something here is going to work out. Five of Swords, even though you're still arguing with yourself about it, you're not entirely sure. But I think your intuition, Two of Swords, is telling you it's going to work out. Because I think that your intuition feels the Wheel of Fortune showing up. Tell me what's around the corner. Virgo, we've got the Page of Pentacles. It's an opportunity here. It's an opportunity of money, time, effort, energy, maybe a job. Maybe you're being offered a job. Temperance is here. It's super healing. Yeah, it's a moment of alchemy where everything sort of comes back into shape here. I feel like you've been in a place where you feel as though you've been climbing the mountain and you're exhausted. And the Nine of Wands is here. It feels like you've been feeling exhausted about having to do it all, carry it all. And I'm going to say that probably within a week. I've got the Nine of Wands here. 10 of Wands is where you release the burden. And for me, Wands are weeks. So it does really feel like for you, it's going to be about a week before you get great clarity about what I'm talking about. Hope you know, because I have not a clue what I'm talking about. So it does feel like you have to make a decision. The decision is showing up as the Two of Pentacles, but also the Page of Pentacles is here. And so it does feel like there is an offer or an opportunity that is showing up, but it can be yours, but only if you decide that you want it. Only if you decide that whatever the Three of Pentacles is, it could be a group of people, it could be somebody who's decided to give you help with something you've been trying to decide. It feels like a little bit of energy that somebody's going to give you some type of clarity, to bring in the moment of alchemy so you can drop some sort of burden that you've been carrying here. We've got the Queen of Wands. And so I feel like that's what helps you make the big, bold move. You come into some sort of information. The King of Swords is here. Somebody's bringing you details, I would say. So if you haven't made the decision yet and you haven't made the move, but time is ticking and maybe you have to make a decision by the end of the month, I'm going to say don't panic, because somebody here is bringing you all the details. I don't know if this is a lawyer or somebody you're hiring, or maybe they're a friend who's an Aquarius, but somebody's going to confirm your intuition. We've got the High Priestess here. Somebody's coming to confirm your intuition about what's been going on to help you make some sort of a decision that you've been putting off. We've got Libra energy. We've got Sagittarius, more Libra. We've got Cancer, Pisces. We've got Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, and Sagittarian energy. We've got Leo energy, Gemini, Sagittarius, more Aquarius. We've got Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer energy here, and a Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, along with more Pisces. All right, all right. And then it was Libra. How are you? I hope you're well. Let's find out what's going on for you, Libra. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Your readings have been great, Libra. I don't know what's going on with your energy and what the shift is, because look, I'm not an astrologer. I don't really know. If you're an astrologer and you know why everything is shifting in your favor lately, maybe you can clue me in. But things are just shifting in the best place for you lately, it seems. Tell me about Libra. In the next 7 days, Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Libra. Libra, we start out with the King of Wands. Interesting. Why the King of Wands? Because the Five of Cups is here. Nice, the Five of Cups is here. Oh, because the Sun is here. And then we have the Three of Swords. So listen, I feel like if somebody disappointed you or broke your heart, you're about to realize or have clearly, you're about to know why. I'm going to say. The Five of Cups, of course, is sadness. It is regret. Oh, okay. Well, it could be that too. I'm sorry, I'm listening to Charlie in my head. Charlie's my guide, by the way. I'm listening to Charlie, and so I'm seeing the Sun, which is below the King of Wands, which tells me that you've kind of had some sort of a revelation that it's time for you to go out and pursue whatever it is that you want. Now, I feel as though you had to switch out of or realize why you were sad, why you were feeling regretful. Five of Cups is here. But on the other side of the Sun is the Three of Swords. It feels like the Five of Cups and the Three of Swords, you're having a realization that the reason you haven't been pursuing what you want to pursue is because you've been in this place of heartbreak or emotional disappointment. And so I feel like the Sun is like, okay, now that you can see it and you understand that you have the wisdom and the energy and the what am I trying to tell you? Wisdom and the energy. You have the wisdom and the excitement and the passion, I would say, to go get what you want. But I feel like the reason that you weren't doing it before is because you didn't know why you were feeling so disappointed, heartbroken, or sad. And I feel like the Sun shows up to say, look, it's actually happier than you think. You don't really need to be here. It can be a decision that you make. Tell me more about the King of Wands. We've got the Ace of Cups. You're about to pursue something that makes your heart happy. We've got the Ten of Wands. I like it. And we've got the Ten of Pentacles. Well, look at that. I really do feel that you are about to pursue something of value, something that you see that's really valuable. I'm going to say that it feels like in the past that you didn't pursue it because you were feeling sad, or it feels almost like between the Five of Cups and the Three of Swords, it feels like a little bit of distrust. Like maybe somebody, you broke your heart and you no longer trust emotions anymore. But it feels like the Sun is showing up to make you realize that this was all for the purpose of giving you wisdom. Now, I know that sounds terrible, but listen, we all need all the lessons, the good ones and the bad ones. And it's the bad ones that actually give us the wisdom. Because if everything went all peaches and cream, right, all rainbows and unicorn farts, then we wouldn't learn a damn thing. And so I feel like this was all, you finally get the wisdom of the Sun. It's like something's being revealed to you, and I think that what's being revealed to you is the Ace of Cups. That I am worthy of love, that I do have a heart space that I want to share with someone. It feels like the Ten of Wands tells me that you're ready to drop some sort of burden. So I think that the Sun showing up, giving you revelation or revealing something to you, is allowing you to drop some sort of burden and move forward on the path of life. It feels like it looks like here that you're interested in building some sort of emotional thing with somebody. But I think that heartbreak and sadness was holding you back. It feels like a bad relationship or something that happened to you, gutted you, and you don't trust anybody anymore. So you stopped chasing your passions. And look, I don't think it was just relationships you stopped chasing. I think it was your passions altogether. It feels like, I don't want to feel that way again. I don't want to feel gutted like that again. So you stop chasing your passions, period. We've got the Two of Pentacles, but now you're in a place where you're much more grounded. It feels like you're ready to make you're ready to stop the wobble. And the only way to stop the wobble is to realize that you can pursue whatever it is that you want to pursue. I'm not going to get that. All I've been doing in the last 48 to 72 hours is dropping cards. I'm telling you, if it doesn't want to be in the deck, it can stay there. I know some of you hate that. It is what it is. I'm the boss. I'm the tarot boss. We've got the Five of Swords. We've got the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, it feels like you are fighting yourself to make a decision to stop the wobble. It feels like, I do want it, I don't want it. I do want it, but I felt gutted last time I tried. It feels like the Nine of Pentacles tells me that you could be feeling a little bit more confident, but also I still feel like you've got something going on in your head. It's like, oh, it's never going to work. I don't want to get hurt again. Next card is the Ace of Pentacles. The 9 is next to the Ace of Pentacles. That's 10 Pentacles coming up a second time. It really does feel like you want to build your future with somebody. It feels like maybe it's time to change my career path. Whatever it is that you're making in terms of a change, the decision you're making, Two of Pentacles is here. It feels like you are making a decision, even though you're still fighting yourself to get out of this Three of Swords, Five of Cups stuff. You're still fighting yourself, but I'm going to say with the Sun here, it's giving you this wisdom of, look, if you're ever going to get it, you got to get up and go pursue it, or it's never going to be yours. You can definitely say never be yours if you don't get up and do it. Manifestation is not just sprinkling you with fairy dust. It's saying get off your ass and go get it. If you want it, go get it. And if you don't want to, that's fine. You just won't get it. All right, the outcome. We've got the Hanged Man in the reverse. Aha, I like it. We've got, oh God, the Wheel of Fortune. You make, in the world, look, you make a major decision. You have a major decision coming up, my friend. You are getting Four of Swords, clarity. It feels like something is healing. You're getting great clarity. Fours are always about stability. This one is a swords, stability of the mind. Maybe it's a health, but it feels like it is somebody who's finally getting the clarity of what I just said. If you don't go up and get up and go get it, you're never going to get it. You can bet on that. You're never going to get it. But look at this. I love this. Yeah, there it is. Wait, no, it was upside down. There we go. Look at that. I like it. We've got, you can see this person, like this is the Hanged Man in reverse. That's how it came up in the table. You can see this person is like, they're celebrating, right? Because they've gotten their realization. And once you remove that block, because, the Hanged Man in the upright is all about being in a pause, trying to get perspective. I don't know if I'm ready to sacrifice. And when the Wheel of Fortune shows up, it's time. Yeah, it's time for you to grow, for you to expand. And what is going to expand is you're realizing that things end for a reason. And they do. Things end for a reason. And I feel like the World card here tells me it was for the purpose of you reaching some sort of achievement, because maybe you were in a relationship that would have held you back forever. Maybe that person was removed because they were the person who you would have allowed to hold you back. Because you really are not in favor of being in imbalance, right? You must be in balance. You don't like when you're not in balance. So I feel like the World card is here. I feel like whatever happened to you, the Five of Cups and the Three of Swords, was something that was destined. It was destined to end. It wasn't yours. And so I feel like you're having that revelation or that realization that things are moving forward after the ending. It's a clarity or a healing that you come to, and it gives you this energy of, I can probably let this go. Hanged Man in reverse. I can probably let this go now and let life move forward, because I feel like this was probably a milestone, and maybe my perspective was a little bit backwards on it. What's around the corner for Libra? We've got the Page of Pentacles. We've got the Three of Cups, and the Four of Swords came back. I feel like you are celebrating something, a message. So either you're sending a message or getting a message, but it feels like it's a a message that happens face to face. It feels like somebody says something to you, or you say something to someone. It could be in a social place. Maybe you see this person in a social place. The fact that it came up Pentacles tells me that you know this person, and it feels like there's something here that is healed within you. So possibly we'll be celebrating or in a place of celebration. And it feels like somebody that you know shows up. The Four of Wands is here. And I think that this meeting that you end up having with this person is something that really stabilizes you. It feels like you begin to realize that there are some people here who are just here to do good, who are here that are soulmates, who are here to give you stability, who are here to celebrate with you when you're ready to celebrate. But maybe you weren't ready to celebrate, and maybe why didn't feel celebratory before. So I feel like you have soulmate friends or people who stabilize you. I feel like you're going to see some of those people in the next 7 days, and it's going to confirm to you that it's time to celebrate because you have finally healed from whatever happened back there. The Seven of Cups is here. So it feels like that you were feeling very overwhelmed about moving from the place that you were. The Knight of Swords is here in the reverse. I feel like you just weren't seeing the truth of something. Yeah, you weren't ready to see the truth of something. Because if you saw the truth, you would realize that you were the one holding yourself back, right? Maybe you were blaming it on someone else, something someone did to you, and I don't think it was that. I feel like you stayed in this Five of Cups, Three of Swords energy for a really long time before you realized that you were the one that was in control of whether you pursued your passions or moved forward or not. Because the sun showed up. And so we've got Leo energy, we've got Scorpio, we've got Taurus energy here. We've got Aries, Libra, Capricorn, Cancer energy, more Capricorn. We've got Virgo. We've got Libra energy here. We've got Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, and Sagittarius, Piscean energy, and Aries, Sagittarius, Leo energy. All right. Scorpio. How are you, friends? I hope you're well. Thank you so much for clicking here. My psychic friends. Tell me about Scorpio. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Scorpio in the next 7 days, please. What can Scorpio expect in the next 7 days? Tell me about Scorpio. We have the Six of Swords. Where are you moving on from? Feels like you're out of a place where you were maybe it feels like you were in some sort of chaotic thought pattern. I feel like you're out of the rapids. I'm seeing somebody who's like being thrown out of a boat on the rapids. I think that you were forced out of the rapids and into the calmer water is what it feels like here. Ooh, because the Tower's here. Ooh, that's a hard shift, man. That's a hard shift. Look, we've got the Three of Swords and the Ace of Cups. So it does feel like there is something. It feels like it's shifting you out of worry. Yeah, it feels like there was a chaotic thought pattern going on with you, Scorpio, and it's shifting you out of worry. So the Three of Swords is here, but the Sixes as well. That's 9 swords for me. I feel like the calmer waters are the Ace of Cups. It feels like you're starting a brand new cycle here of emotions, but not before the Tower has its way with you. I feel like something here is, it feels like I'm going to say it's a mental shift. It's a shift in your mind and how you see something. You could have a Gemini placement possibly, or a Libra placement, because we do have Uranus in Gemini right now. It feels like you're seeing something from a different perspective because the Tower's here. Tower's your energy, of course, Scorpio. And it could be that you're seeing something in a more grounded sense now than you saw it before because Mars, which is your ruler, is in Taurus. You could be seeing something that you feel like, you know what, I'm not going to fight this anymore. Because Taurus would just back away, get the hell out of there. I'm not going to fight this anymore. That's what it feels like. So I feel like you finally get out of some sort of chaotic thought pattern and go to a calmer place, calmer water. No more on the rapids for you. We've got the Empress energy. We've got the Four of Swords. And we've got the Two of Pentacles. Guess what? you make a decision that your abundance and your stability are the things that you are going to plan for. Because the Two of, I think you get the point. I always get that with this particular Two of Pentacles. It feels like you get the point. It feels like finally you're out of this mental chaos and you've grounded yourself, gotten some clarity, healing the mind. But also I feel like when the Empress shows up, it's about stability. It feels like you understand now that this is a place in your life where you're supposed to be independent. And so maybe you felt bad about leaving people behind or about not bringing them with you, but it feels like, you can't stop the Empress energy. The Empress energy is wisdom. And once you see things for what they are, you realize that, it's better off that you have boundaries and that you back away, right? It's a clarity Libra and a grounding energy of Taurus, right? Mars being in Taurus. So it feels like with this Empress energy, it feels like you finally realize, because the Four of Swords is here, it feels like clarity of the mind. You finally realize your worth and you start making decisions as such. Capricorn energy is here. You start planning as though you are the Empress and as though you are not waiting to become the Empress. You know that you are independent. You can do it yourself. You're a bit of a badass. Queen of Wands. You're compassionate and loving and kind. And look, if somebody is not treating you that way, you know your worth. If they're not treating you that way, it's time to go. Six of Swords. Tell me more about Scorpio. We've got the World card. I feel like you're about ready to end some sort of a chapter, because I think that you've made yourself realize after the shift in the thinking with the Scorpio and with the Tower and the Six of Swords, something has shifted. And it feels like you're thinking about something differently now and you're going to make a decision. The World card is here with, it feels, I'm going to show you the way they are here on the table. They're on the table this way. We're on the table this way. So we've got the Ace of Cups with the World card and the Two of Pentacles. It feels like you are about to make a decision that has to do with emotions and closing some sort of a chapter here. Because I feel like you feel everything feels up in the air, disorganized, and I think you need more clarity than that. You're tired of everything being up in the air. We've got the Temperance card. Look, don't push yourself into it. I'm going to say when the Temperance card shows up, it's because the moment of alchemy is here. And the moment of alchemy is going to show up and you will know when to close the chapter. Don't push yourself into it because the Tarot said so. Crazy lady in Canada said so. Don't push yourself into that situation. It does feel like it will balance itself out. It will heal itself. You'll stop going from high highs to low lows emotionally, and you'll be done with it finally and close the door and say, no more. I'd rather live in the calm waters. We've got the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, it does feel like that's what you're going to do. It feels like you are about to put someone on the outside looking in. And they can watch you grow from a distance. That's what it feels like. We've got the Five of Wands. You're fighting yourself. I feel like there is an internal battle going on. We've got two fives here though. Five of Pentacles, Five of Wands. So it feels like this internal battle is going on about when to do it. And I'm going to say to you, don't push yourself into it. The universe will tell you. Something will happen. Something will shift. You'll get notified very loudly. When the World card is here with Temperance, you get notified in the loudest way. So you're going to know, and it's going to happen soon, because the two fives that are here, to me, something is about to happen pretty damn quick. Yeah. Quick change. Tell me what the outcome is for Scorpio. We've got, look at that. You're going to be notified. Something's going to be revealed to you. It's going to be the last straw. And it feels like with the Capricorn energy here, the Two of Pentacles, it feels like you're already planning for this. So you're probably feeling intuitively like, I don't know how much longer I can stay here. I don't know if it's a job or what it is, but it feels like I can't stay here much longer because I know my worth. I've healed to a point where I know my worth and I have all the wisdom that I need to make this decision. We have the Eight of Cups. Look, it's the outcome, right? And the Two of Wands. So yeah, the outcome is the Sun, the Eight of Cups, and then a Two of Wands. That's where you are going to, when the moment of alchemy comes with the Temperance card here, something's going to be revealed to you that's going to make you detach emotionally first and walk away. And you're going to, this is your plan. You've already got a plan. I think that you're already planned for whatever scenario might arise. Yeah. You wouldn't be Scorpio if you weren't ready. What's around the corner for Scorpio? Three of Pentacles is in the reverse. I can't even with the tarot thing. Feels like there is a foundation that's crumbling. Now the foundation could be a friendship. This is partnership, right? So this could be a roommate. This could be a partner that you used to trust. It feels like it's a partnership that's crumbling. The foundation of the partnership is crumbling. So it feels like something is going to be revealed to you, and it feels like it's going to crumble the foundation. And then we've got the Three of Wands. It's going to cause you to start really planning your future, really start looking at your future. And this king here, is it the king? Yeah, he's got a castle on his head. It's the king. I feel like that it's time for you to start building your own empire. And then we've got the star, and the star is healing. You, my friend, oh yeah, that does remind me of that. Charlie's just reminding me of the first night that I spent here in this place 8 years ago when I left my marriage, and I was so depleted. I was exhausted, emotionally, mentally exhausted. And all I had in this place was a chair from IKEA, and that was it. And I had the best sleep of my entire life. I think I slept 8 hours in that chair. It was the first time I had slept 8 hours in years. I feel like this is how you're going to feel. That this healing energy of the star, once you finally solidify what you are going to do in the future and you start to exact your plan, you start to pursue your plan here. I feel like it's, yeah, I just exhaled. It's like an exhale is what it feels like here. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles. Look, you're moving the right direction. I think that you realize your value. You realize that you have come to a place in your life where you are the person who has more value than the place where you were. Because the Three of Pentacles is in the reverse, and you are worth way more than Three Pentacles, friend. So I feel like that's what's going on here. But it's going to be this, right? We've got the Five of Cups. Now we have 3 5s. 5 5 5 is quick change. Yeah. It's going to have to be this, right? 10 of Swords, 5 of Cups. It's not going to be fun. This is not going to be the funnest thing you ever did, but I feel like it's going to be the thing that eventually gives you joy. Yeah. It might be something that you do unexpectedly because the page is here. But I feel like, you know, I never met a Scorpio who isn't really willing to work really hard for whatever it is that they want. And so I feel like you can accomplish whatever you want. You just really got to change your mind or make the decision is all, because the Two of Pentacles is here. We've got Virgo and Pisces. Nope, not Pisces, sorry. That is Aquarius and Leo. Excuse me. Taurian energies, Scorpio, Taurus, nope. So yeah, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo. We've got Aries energy, Capricorn, Libra, more Capricorn, Aries, Scorpio, Taurus, and Libra. We've got Leo energy and more Aquarius energy. All right. Sagittarius. A fire family. How you doing, friends? Sagittarius. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Let's find out what's going on with you, Sagittarius, in the next 7 days. Tell me about Sagittarius. Oh, all right. You're up, my friend. Something is about to shift or switch up or change something here. And you're not expecting it. You're not signing off on it. It's boom. Here it is. What is this? Something is definitely about to change. A Judgment card is here. This is something that I feel has been coming back around. It feels like it's either been playing on your mind, or it feels like something that keeps showing up again and again and again. And look, it could be that you keep dating people who you think are different people, but the same cycle happens because of something you haven't healed. It feels like the same cycle keeps happening over and over and over again. And I feel like this is the time to get it right, because I think that the Tower is going to be here to shake you down. That's what it feels like. And it's going to be here to shake you down with the Judgment card. It does feel like something is shifting which is going to bring you to this place of taking a completely different path. We've got the Four of Wands and the Ten of Cups. I feel like if you are in a relationship right now, I feel like you are having some sort of revelation. There's something here that keeps repeating. I don't know if it keeps repeating amongst people. I did that too after, for the very longest time. Kept dating people and the same scenario would happen over and over again. It would crash and burn until I realized what I was doing. And that's the Tower. Until you realize what you really are doing, until something really does shift and you start doing something different than you always did, right? Then you finally get a different result than you ever got. And so I think that's what the Judgment and the Tower is here. We have the Four of Wands and we have the Ten of Cups. It feels as though finally something comes to a stable, celebratory place, and all of a sudden you realize what your worth is emotionally, or you realize this is what I want. This is what joy really means to me. It does feel like you are having some sort of a shift in how you feel about something, because the Ten of Cups is here. What you really define as joy. Above the Tower here, we have the Hanged Man. Yeah, it feels like your mind is being changed. The Hanged Man is usually perspective, or what do I really have to sacrifice? And the sacrifice could be that it's time for you to change direction. It's time for you to date differently, get a different job, get out of the career path you're in and into another one. It feels like a major change or a major shift is about to show up because of some sort of perspective that you are now celebrating. You're like, oh, it's like an aha. It's like, oh, okay. Now I get the perspective of why this kept happening over and over again, kept repeating itself. And I want to get out of the cycle. I just want to get out of the cycle. And I feel like that's what the Tower is. So the Tower is not always a bad thing, especially when it's up against the Three of Cups. It feels like somebody here is going to be celebrating with friends after having some sort of a realization, because you're being honest and truthful with yourself. The Queen of Swords is here. I feel like somebody here is being really honest and truthful with themselves about what they really want. What gives you stable joy? Four of Wands and Ten of Cups. What really gives you stable joy? And what have you been putting up with as opposed to what you deserve? So I feel like the Queen of Swords has a really high standard, right? The Queen of Swords is somebody who's being honest with themselves and honest with everyone out there in order to be able for you to have some sort of stability, Libra energy, in order for you to be able to restore your celebratory energy. You finally get some sort of perspective, Hanged Man, about, okay, now I'm going to be honest with myself. But that changes your mind. It completely shifts you out of a place where maybe you had been stuck to where you are going to be a little bit more mutable. Yeah, that you're going to be unfixed. It feels like you're maybe a Sagittarius that has fixed energy, and I feel like it took a Tower to get you out of there. You could have some sort of fixed energy. Let's find out what's going on with this Queen of Swords here. It feels like with the Queen of Swords and the Tower, it's like, whoa, oh shit, that's what I missed. That's why this keeps going this way all the time. That's why it keeps repeating. That's why the pattern keeps repeating. You're breaking some sort of pattern here. Yeah, you're the hell out of there. You're breaking some sort of pattern because this is discipline of your emotions, and this is the clarity and the honesty and the truth of it. And so it does feel like you have made a decision that I need to be way more disciplined with my emotions and who I offer those to. I have to do a lot more interviewing, Queen of Swords. The Two of Pentacles is here. I have to make better decisions I have to make decisions that are based on fact, practical things, based on knowing someone for 2 years or a long period of time. I have to stop being engaged with the Knight of Cups energy, which is great because it is romantic and emotional energy. But understand, when it's with the Two of Pentacles, it's like you're scrutinizing everything a lot more now. I don't even know if I'm talking about relationship, but it could be a job. It feels like you've come to the clarity of something, and it's like an aha moment that makes you really happy that I can choose to get out of this cycle and get into another one. But it does really feel like it takes a shift in how you're thinking or a change of mind. So the Knight of Cups is falling in love with potential. Oh, this looks really good. I'm sure it'll be fine. When somebody shows you who they are, believe them, right? Maya Angelou taught us that forever and ever. And I feel like that it is time to make decisions based on someone's ability to be disciplined in their emotions. That could be you or someone else. We've got the Ace of Wands. Before I move forward and take action. All right. I feel like you're taking a completely different path. When it comes to picking a partner, a soulmate, even if it's a soulmate friend, you're taking a completely different path. The criteria has changed. Tell me what is in the outcome for Sagittarius. We've got the Five of Pentacles. We've got the King of Pentacles. And we've got the Page of Cups. And that, my friend, is when you start to realize your worth. It also feels like you go from the Five of Pentacles to the Ten of Pentacles. When you raise your standards are raised for everyone else. And so that automatically cuts out the people who do not meet the Ten of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles standards, which is, do you have a kingdom? Do you make your own money? Are you someone who's stable, financially, mentally stable? Are you someone who can bring something to me, who can offer me something? Or are you just here to just use up whatever I give you? So I feel like it's a surprised, shocking sort of revelation that you are definitely just going to turn your back and walk away, detach immediately. Queen of Swords is here. If you don't fulfill the first 5 minutes of criteria, then no, you're out. Like, that's what it feels like. It feels like that. So what's around the corner is the Three of Pentacles in the reverse. We've got the Eight of Swords and the Six of Swords. Look at that. That's where it used to be. The swords here, that's where it used to be, the Eight of Swords. And then we have the Three of Pentacles in the reverse. You've broken down and changed your mind. You're no longer stuck here feeling like your hands are tied. There's nothing I can do. These are the kinds of people that are attracted to me. This is the kind of job I've always done. It feels like you get out of this place where you feel like you're no longer in control of something. It's like you'd given up your control and feeling like, oh, my hands are tied. There's nothing I can do about it. But I feel like moving forward is what really changes what you expect from a foundation. The Six of Swords is here. It feels like this is, I am going to break it down for you real quick. Like, that's what it feels like. I'm the one in charge here. Here's what it feels like. I'm going to break it down for you real quick. This is what I expect from you. We've got the Death card in the reverse. And for people who are around you that are not willing to change, I don't think you have time for them anymore. I think you've run out of patience. I'm going to say the King of Pentacles is here, is the most patient. I feel like people are going to be surprised that you've just run out of patience, that you're just not into the patience thing anymore with them. You're not waiting and waiting and waiting for them to give you an offer. I feel like you're listening to your intuition and getting out of some sort of a comfort zone. You are now making judgment. Justice is here. You are now making judgment about what I deserve, what's for me, and what is going to keep me balanced. We've got Aries. We've got Pisces and Scorpio. We've got Aquarius and Gemini. We've got Cancer and Pisces. We've got Capricorn, Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. We've got more Scorpio, Virgo, and Pisces. More Pisces, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. More Pisces. You are changing your mind. Something's coming in to really change your mind. All right. Let's get to you, Capricorn. Tell me about Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. I am so excited to see my Capricorn bestie tomorrow. I haven't seen her in a while. I've been really busy working, right? So, and she's been busy, it's spring, getting everything cleaned up. So let's find out what's going on here. With you, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Capricorn. Capricorn and Taurus, we're besties, right? Yeah, we get along so good in relationships, platonic or romantic. Tell me about Capricorn. We've got strength. We've got the 7 of Cups. Okay. The courage to make a decision when you have a lot of emotional opportunity here. You got to break somebody's heart, friend. That's what it looks like. 7 of Cups is here. 3 of Swords and the Lovers. I feel like you have some options or opportunities. And I feel like that is probably in things that make you feel some sort of way. So it doesn't have to be relationship energy, but it does feel like you are feeling emotionally confused about what decision to make. You've really got to be, the Strength card is here, you've really got to be courageous and stop holding back. Because I feel like the reason that you're holding back, whatever this is, it could be a job, a person, a relationship, the reason that you keep holding back is because you don't want to hurt anybody. And so you need to make a choice. And I feel like the 3 of Swords is a place where you are like, oh, I don't know if I want to make a choice, because that means I'm going to have to, if I say yes to one, I'm going to have to say no to the others. And I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, emotional feelings, right? Like this seems like a really emotional decision you're about to make here, a choice. Tell me about the Strength card. We've got the Magician. That's the thing, friend. You are creating your own reality. You deserve that. You deserve to create your own path, regardless of who feels bad about that. If we all worried about everyone else around us before we made a decision in our lives, we wouldn't go anywhere or do anything. I feel like the Magician is telling me, look, you are prepared. You've got all the same tools everybody else does. And it's time for you to make a decision about how you are going to build your new reality. It really is up to you. Find the courage to do it. A breakthrough is coming. I love this one because the sun is breaking through the brick wall. It feels like something has had you stuck. And I think it was just because you couldn't see what was on the other side of the brick wall. That's what it feels like. So you're about to get some sort of clarity, or something's about to reveal itself. And I think what it is that you are the Magician. You've got all the tools, the skills, the resources. You have this big path that's open in front of you. And I feel like you've been holding yourself back with the Strength card here courageously, because you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings by leaving the workplace and taking a better paying job, or going back to school. You don't want to hurt somebody's feelings by leaving the pack or leaving them behind because they won't change. We've got the 3 of Wands. Your future depends on it. It does feel like you now see the future. You see a very bright future for yourself. Now that you've had your breakthrough, you see a very bright future for yourself. But I feel like this is imperative that you make this choice to pick one cup and go with it. But the other cups or people or situations are going to be upset with you. We've got the Queen of Swords. She shows up, it's all bets are off. Yeah. We've got the Justice card. Look at all these swords here. You're thinking it out hard. And then the Ace of Wands before you take action. So the Queen of Swords is, I got to go over all the details. Before I make this really big decision, I've got to go over all the details and make sure that everything is in its place. Because I feel like you're about to break somebody's heart by leaving somewhere. Now look, you could be moving out of your parents' house and mom doesn't want you to go. Maybe you're going off to college in another state and mom doesn't want you to go, or dad doesn't want you to go. It feels like you're making a really big move. It feels like it's logical. It's going to keep you in balance, because the Queen of Swords doesn't make illogical decisions when she's in the upright. And then the Justice card is here. You will keep balance. We got Libra and Libra side by side. And then the Ace of Wands is here. Look, the King of Swords is here. You've got all the details. You know what you want. You know what's going to happen from here. It feels like you have all the details. The only thing is the 7 of Cups. That's what's holding you back. The Ace of Wands is here. I feel like you're ready to take action on the plan that you've set forward, but I feel like it's the emotional part that's holding you back here. We've got the 10 of Swords. Ooh, I'm just gonna have to let them feel betrayed. I'm going to have to let them feel like, I think it's a really hard decision that you're making, but I think you're making the best decision for you. But you're going to have to leave someone behind. People are going to see you as betraying them, betraying the friendship, the trust. You've gone on without them. Yeah, that's what it feels like. But I really do think it's in your best interest to make whatever decision is best for you. Tell me what the outcome is for Capricorn. We do have the 5 of Pentacles. Yeah, you're going to have to leave someone or something on the outside looking in. We've got the 2 of Pentacles. There's your decision, Capricorn energy. And the Wanderer. It feels like you're, the Wanderers in this specific deck is called the Wandering Moon Tarot. And you can see that this person is, they're sitting on the earth but looking at the moon. They're making the connection that they are made of stardust. They're making the connection that I'm connected to everything and everything is connected to me. But when it's in the reverse, it's like, it feels like you still think you're running the show. So I feel like you're taking all of this very personally because you're like, I'm going to hurt somebody deliberately. But listen, I feel like once this is in the upright, you're going to realize that you have limited time on the earth just like everybody else. And that's the truth. And I know it's brutal truth, but it is. You're looking at the moon saying, well, I'm here on the earth. I've been given this blessing. Look, you have a better chance of not being born than you do of being born. Look, come here. I'm giving you a pep talk. And I feel like whatever it is, you've got to go forward with it because this is a once in a lifetime thing. Tell me what is around the corner for Capricorn. We've got the Devil. We've got the 10 of Wands and the Star. It almost feels like you feel that you're supposed to be carrying this burden. Yeah, that if I don't do this, I am going to carry this burden, but it almost feels like you think you're supposed to be carrying some sort of burden, that it makes you feel noble. The Star energy is here. Can I put my hopes on hold? It feels like 10 of Wands tells me that you are carrying a really heavy burden of the Devil. It feels like there are people who are around you and are codependent on your hope. That you're the person that keeps them all motivated, or maybe you're the person that gives them money, or maybe you're the person that pays the rent. It feels like that you're carrying around this really deep burden of, these people are all codependent on me, and if I remove myself from the situation, then what hope will they have? Last card here, King of Cups. There's the problem, right? Look, it's Scorpio energy. Scorpio would run into a burning building, right? To help anybody. Noble energy. When the King of Cups is in the upright, it's quite noble energy. And that's what I was feeling here. So it feels like you are keeping how you feel about the situation underneath everything. And you're not showing anybody how you feel. Are you going to make this decision? Queen of Pentacles. That's you. It's Capricorn energy. That's a yes. You're going to make the decision to do you. Yeah. And it is quite exciting. It feels like there is something that you're about to win. The 6 of Wands is here on the bottom of the deck. In the future, you're about to win, but you have to make the decision to go. We do have, Gemini, Aquarius, Aquarian energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, more Aquarius and Aries energy. We've got Libra, Aquarius, Gemini energy. We've got Leo, more Gemini, Capricorn. We've got Aries and Gemini, more Capricorn, Taurus, Piscean energy, and Leo. Okay, Aquarius. Let's find out what's going on with you, Aquas. Tell me about my smarty pantses. I say that in the kindest way because you're the one who's smartest in the zodiac, right? Tell me about Aquarius. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter signs. Tell me about the next 7 days for Aquarius. You're the genius of the zodiac, friend. Let's find out what's going on for Aquarius. We've got the 6 of Cups. Why? We have the 6 of Cups. We have the Hermit energy. Are you thinking about a soulmate? Somebody you can't stop thinking about. It feels like it's somebody that you've had good times with, because the Six of Cups is emotional. That's a lot of emotions, nostalgic emotions. Feels like you are thinking about someone. I wouldn't say necessarily from the past, but it does feel like a heavy thought pattern, because the Hermit is here. You're going over happy things. The conversations you had where you both were kicking off laughing, like it feels like that sort of energy. We've got the Nine of Swords, and we've got the Fool. Oh, interesting. It does feel to me like you're thinking about someone that feels like you're going over all the details, and I feel like you're almost in this energy of maybe it's a little bit cringe. Maybe you said something that feels like that's a little cringy. Like, I shouldn't have said that. Why did I say that? And, you're not the only sign that goes through that, right? The Fool is here next to the Nine of Swords. So it feels like there is a worry that this person is not going to... It feels like you're taking a risk to take a leap, but you're worried about it because of basically everything that you're thinking about. But you're wondering, is this person even going to pay attention to the risk that you're taking? It does feel like you are thinking about someone that you've had a lot of happy emotional times with. We have the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is giving me the energy of should I, shouldn't I? Maybe I'm just burnt out emotionally, and maybe I just don't have anything to give. Maybe there's nothing left to give here. We have the Temperance card. I think it's because it's just not the moment of alchemy. And look, when the moment of alchemy does show up, it usually is a yes, but it feels like there is something here that first you have to decide. The Two of Pentacles is here. I feel like you have to be in balance. Look at her balancing one foot on top of that building, right? The Two Pentacles in the sky. It feels like you have to heal, be in this place of balance. It feels like you've been wobbling a little bit in terms of how you feel emotionally about the past. And I think that this person is showing up in your emotional past. I feel like you're ready to move or go somewhere or take a leap of faith. I think I said that to you in other readings. It feels like that you are moving forward here and you're wondering, is there a place for me near this person that I'm thinking about? We've got the Five of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Eight of Wands. So it does feel like you've gone on an adventure. It feels like you've gone on an adventure somewhere. The Ace of Pentacles is here. It feels like you're an adventurer, or maybe you're nomad, maybe you're a car or van life person, but it feels like you're sort of in this nomadic energy, but you're missing someone. The Five of Pentacles is here. You're missing where you used to live. You're missing your friends at home. You're missing what you used to do back there. The Five of Pentacles is coming up next to the Six of Cups. So it really feels like you're thinking about all the good times back there and that you're disconnected from them. So I'm going to say it feels like with the Eight of Wands here that maybe you've been traveling or you've been on adventures. It feels like the Ace of Pentacles tells me that you want to grow some sort of stability. Find one place and move there. One more card here. We got the Ten of Pentacles, and it might cost you a little bit. I think that you're really going over your life pentacle by pentacle and figuring out what is going to work for you going forward into the future as you build your future. What's going to happen over the next 10 years, next 11 years? It feels like with the Ace of Pentacles here that you're going over your life pentacle by pentacle. Where do I want to plant the seeds so they all grow in the right direction? It feels as though you've been disconnected from being stable, secure in one place, attached to the ground. Do you know what I mean? So it feels like you've been on adventures or having adventures. It feels like you're either ready for a stable relationship or you're ready to buy a house in a certain place. It feels like you're ready to settle down, I would say, with the Ten of Pentacles being here. What's in the outcome? Judgment. And then the King of Cups is in the reverse. Okay. And then we have the Hanged Man. So look, I feel like there it is. You're in charge, man, right? You're the person who's in charge. The Empress. What the heck? Okay. Here we go. The Emperor and the Empress just showed up together on the bottom of the deck. Three of Pentacles. You're friends with somebody. It feels like you're friends with somebody. That's the person that I feel that you are thinking about. You're having a revelation about somebody here with the Sun. Someone here that has got a boundary on you or has been shut off and shut down. The outcome, look at this. This is very interesting outcome. We've got the Judgment card here. The King of Cups is in the reverse. And then we have the Hanged Man. I feel like you've been thinking round, around, around, because you're the king of overthinking, right? And I feel like the Judgment card tells me that something keeps coming to your mind. And I think that the Hermit's here with the Six of Cups because you keep thinking about something that made you emotionally feel good in the past. This isn't somebody from the past that didn't make you feel good. This is somebody who made you feel grounded, somebody you could trust. It feels like this Judgment card here tells me you're about to make a decision because you're going to listen to the universe. I feel like this keeps coming back over and over and over again. That's why you can't stop thinking about it. But look, when the King of Cups is in the reverse, they're going with their emotions. Yeah, it feels like you have been feeling very emotional about the situation. You don't have to be sitting there crying. I don't know what an Aquarius usually does, but the King of Cups in the reverse is telling me that this makes you feel openly emotional. The Hanged Man here is once you finally get your perspective, I think that's when you decide to move forward. But look, this is something, isn't it? You've already got a foundation that you've built with the Empress or the Emperor. Look, are you the feminine or the masculine? Take it for what it is. The masculine leaning is the Emperor. The feminine leaning is the Empress. If you are the Emperor, you're the one about to pursue the Empress. If you're the Empress, you're waiting. So we've got the Three of Pentacles here. It feels like there is a friendship or a partnership here. And the Sun is like somebody is having some sort of really big revelation and doesn't want to be cut off or doesn't want to have this boundary. I don't want to have this boundary between us anymore. Whether that's because, you know, the Three of Pentacles is a partnership. So that can be somebody you're friends with, someone you really trust, or it can be something romantic, right? Because the Six of Cups is here. And yeah, let's look around the corner. What's around the corner? We've got the King of Wands. We've got the Seven of Wands in the reverse and the Justice card. Look, I feel like the last time this whole situation was in your face, I feel like you were not flexible. Because the Seven of Wands here is in the reverse. And it tells me that you were holding your stance probably, but now you're feeling a little bit more flexible about pursuing something that gives you a lot of balance. I really do feel like it's a job or a person. Something here, it almost feels like it could be a house. Like it could be that I'm done being nomadic or I've done traveling the world and now I'm going to go to one place and just sit down. It feels like that. It feels like something you're thinking about, really finding out the truth of what you want. The Justice card is here as well. And so it feels like there is something here that you're really coming to the conclusion of something that's going to give you ultimate balance. I think that's what you want. And I think you feel like settling down with a person in a place, in a career, settling down. You could be someone who does contract work. And look, I just don't want to do contract work anymore. It feels like that. But it feels like you are making a decision, something that had you blocked. I feel like you were blocked from making a decision because there were too many details to go over. And the Hierophant is here. You might be thinking about committing to a place to live, maybe to a person, possibly to deepening a connection with somebody, whether they're platonic or romantic partnership to you. It feels like somebody has decided, yeah, I need to remove this block and make a decision. But the Moon is here, right? The Moon is here beside the Two of Cups in the outcome. So it does feel like somebody is worried about the outcome. Do I really want to stay there? Can I stay there? If I plant myself somewhere, am I going to just turn nomadic again and just walk out? Like it feels like somebody's really struggling to make a decision about what comes next. Because the Two of Pentacles is here and it's you're in a bit of a wobble here. I'm not really sure what I want to do just yet. I would say stay in Hermit energy, Virgo, right? You figure out what you want. We've got Virgo, we've got Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius energy. We have Virgo. We have Sagittarius, Taurus energy here. We have Aries. I feel like you really do want to pursue something or someone We've got Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, more Sag. We've got Piscean energy here. Feels like you're going to get a perspective on something. Virgo and Pisces are here, and then more Libra energy. I feel like you're just looking to bring some type of balance to your life that you haven't had in a while, Aquarius. All right, last but not least, my two fishes friends. My water family, how you guys doing? Tell me about Pisces. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Pisces. Tell me about Pisces. We've got the Four of Wands. We've got the High Priestess. We've got the Lovers. What's going on with you? What is this? It feels like you know something is coming. Something that... Okay, I'll tell you what I got. I've got the Four of Wands, and then under the Four of Wands, I have the High Priestess, the Lovers, and the Seven of Swords. So it feels as though there is something here that is pinging your intuition, I would say, Pisces. It has to do with the Lovers, which I think is a choice. I think you're going to have to make a choice. It feels like you know something is showing up for you. Do you have that feeling like something is in the distance that is coming toward you? Like, I'm talking about energy, like something that is, you can't really put your finger on it, but it feels like there is something here. The Seven of Swords tells me it's being concealed from you. So it's irritating you because you're like, usually I can feel it. I know what it is. And if I don't know exactly what it is, I know what the feeling of it is. It feels like it's celebratory. It's going to give you a lot of balance and security. It feels like it's stabilizing you. It feels like it could have something to do with romance for some of you. The Lovers is here. But it feels like there is this feeling of something I can't see, but I can feel, is about to show up. And I think you're going to be celebrating it when it does. And tell me what this is. We've got the Knight of Cups. We've got the Knight of Coins. We've got the King of Pentacles in the reverse. Something has been on a very slow approach. So the Knight of Cups is meandering, right? This is the passive knight. So this is the one whose head's in the clouds and who is like going off the beaten path, taking a detour, right? Fantasy-like in the mind. The Knight of Pentacles is a little more grounded, but also doesn't care if they get to the outcome, doesn't care when they get to the outcome, because they're more worried about the journey and the perfection of the journey. And then we have the King of Pentacles in the reverse. It feels like you're not necessarily going to see the worth of something when it shows up immediately. Tell me more about this. It's like you're going to think it's not for you. Like, why is this here? It's not for me. Why is it here looking at me? Tell me about the King of Pentacles in the reverse. We've got the Page of Cups. Something here is about to surprise you, friend. Ooh. Okay. 2 cups. Tell me more. Okay. I feel like there is a best friend or a new connection coming in, somebody that you're going to trust emotionally. It feels like you are going to be surprised. Now, for some of you, it could be someone you know. I'm just not going to take that off the table because the Knight of Pentacles is here. It feels like it's taken this person a long-ass time to get to you because their head's been in the clouds. They've been taking detours. It feels like they're really not concerned about the outcome, that they're more concerned about the journey. They're really enjoying their journey. So it could be someone who's really separate from you right now, who's really enjoying their journey. And it feels like, I don't know that you're definitely going to see the value of this when it shows up, because the King of Pentacles is in the reverse. It's destabilizing, I would say. This Page of Cups showing up, it's good news. It's valuable, but I don't think you'll see the value in it right away because it's destabilizing, and it'll destabilize you emotionally. It almost feels like somebody from your past is showing up, Could be a friend though. Look, we've got Pentacles here, but we've also got Cups here. So it could be, it feels like it is someone that you have already deepened your emotional connection with, someone who knows a lot of things about you. But I think they show up at a time when you're just like over it. It almost feels like a too little too late sort of energy. Is it too little too late when they show up? Because I feel like you are exhausted by this point emotionally. So maybe you've been through, maybe been doing a lot of partying. Could be that, because we got the Page of Cups next to the Three of Cups. Could be a lot of celebrations going on. Maybe you're dating a lot or whatever. But it feels like it almost, this person, situation, job, whatever it is, shows up when you're like right at the point in which you're ready to give up because you're exhausted. The Two of Pentacles, and it's going to force you into making some sort of a decision, an emotional decision, but a practical one as well. You're going to want to go straight to the emotional decision, but I feel like you're going to back away and say, wait a second, I'm kind of exhausted. Are you here to break my heart? Are you here to just show up, make me be emotionally open to you, and then piss off again? Like, what's going on here? It feels like you would rather this person have called you and said, I'm in town, or I'd like to come see you, but I don't think that happens. I feel like you and this person either end up being at the same place at the same time. Maybe you share friends, maybe you share family. It feels like maybe you lived on the same block. It feels like you are about to bump into this person, and it's going to make you make some sort of an immediate decision, but you're going to be like, oh shit, really? After everything, I'm exhausted. It might be at the end of a work day or a day that was just exhausting, emotionally exhausting for you, and boom, there it is. Boom, there it is. We've got the Eight of Pentacles in your outcome. I don't know if I want to work on this. I don't know if I have the energy, the time, or the effort to work on this. Like, it feels like, I'm not really sure. We've got the Four of Swords. I just need to lay down. Can we talk about this later? I just need to lay down. I'm exhausted. And we've got the Seven of Cups. Yeah. I feel like you're emotionally exhausted from something. It feels like before you make, I'm going to say, I think that this reading is saying, before you make any important decisions about partnerships, about dating or meeting someone who affects you emotionally, before you make any of those really big decisions, please sleep on it. Like, I think you're supposed to sleep on it with the Four of Swords and the Eight of Cups, because I feel like when it shows up, it shocks you or surprises you and gets you all up in your emotions, and you're apt to say yes when maybe you would have backed off and said no had you been a little more rested. So it feels like the Eight of Pentacles tells me you're either just straight from work, or you've put a lot of time, effort, and energy into something that is not really coming to fruition. It feels like frustration, exhaustion, burnt out, and then all of a sudden this shows up in your face. I think maybe on a Friday you just want to go out and have drinks with your friends. Three Cups is here, celebration, and this shows up and you're like, tell me what's around the corner. I don't think you're upset that it shows up. You're shocked and surprised. And I think it's during a time of celebration. I don't think you're going to be like, really? But you're not going to be sad about it. So we have this Six of Pentacles. Somebody wants to give you reciprocal energy. They're showing up to do that. They know where you're going to be at the time you're going to be there. So either you said it on Facebook, you said something on socials, or a friend has said, Pisces is going to be here. Show up. We've got the Eight of Wands in the reverse. It's like you don't have any energy to talk, to move forward. Six of Cups is here. It feels like with the Eight of Wands here, we've been over this before. That's what it feels like to me. We've been over this before, and it went nowhere. You didn't call. You didn't text. It went nowhere. Why would I put any more energy, time, or effort into this? Because I'm exhausted. I don't know if you understand how exhausted I am with all of this. It's like the last one that tries your patience. It feels like it's like, why are you here now? And what is going on? And you expect me to make a decision just based on the fact that we've known each other forever? Tell me what the last card is. The Knight of Wands. It is very destabilizing. Somebody here is showing up that I think you're really attracted to in the past, or not in the situation that you're in right now. You probably just would have jumped on the back of the horse and rode off into the sunset. But I feel like with this Nine of Wands and the Knight of Wands here, I feel like you're ready to just put down some sort of burden. So I think that there is a history here. It could be romantic, it could be platonic, it could be an old friend showing up, but it feels like you're just not ready to put any energy into it. I just don't know if I have the energy to give you reciprocal energy at this time. Bottom of the deck, we've got the Ace of Pentacles. We've got the Devil. This person might owe you money. Ace of Wands and the Judgment card. I think in the past you've made really quick decisions based on this person just showing up. They know that you always choose them. Like, look, the Knight of Wands is usually pretty good looking, kind of sexy, bit of a thirst trap. And this person is somebody who usually gets what they want when they want it, and they know they can manipulate you emotionally to get what they want. And I think that it feels like either this person owes you money, or there is a codependence financially, or time, effort, energy, money, or health. And it feels like they know that you always help them out immediately without question. But the Judgment card is just showing up here. And you're like, no, I don't know. I'm not really sure. Look at that. Wheel of Fortune is in the reverse. You're like, no, I don't know if this is going anywhere. But it's coming back. Now, when the Judgment card shows up again, it's showing up so you'll resolve it, get it out of your face, say yes or no to it, and send it on its way. And then it doesn't come back. But I feel like the Wheel of Fortune says it's probably not a fortunate thing at this time. Maybe it's just the timing is off. The King of, not the King, but the Emperor is here. This is a person who I think is showing up, who is a person who usually doesn't really give you much emotionally, but they are someone who has an effect on you. So the king of all the kings is the Emperor, right? And that's the person who has their own empire. But it does feel like that this person is a person of influence. So I'm going to say that their fire, or the attraction you have to them, is the influence that they have over you to conquer you. And I feel like you usually say yes to this person, even though they don't really give you a reason to. The King of Cups is here. Maybe they're holding a lot of feelings underneath the surface, but they're not giving you anything on the surface. And they want you to jump right in without question. So, I don't know. Are you going to do it, or are you not? We have Virgo and Pisces here. We have Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo. Please be aware that the Wheel of Fortune is in the reverse. We have Sagittarian energy here and Capricorn. We have Cancer, Sagittarius, more Cancer, more Sagittarius. Fire and water, right? High highs, low lows. And so we have Scorpio, Pisces, Virgo, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. We've got some more Scorpio energy, Aries, Pisces. This person's got a duality. The Lovers is here. This person's got it like both sides. They're really a big lover, or they're just cold, like deep as the ocean, or cold as the lamppost. One of the two. It's never this. They pick their duality based on what you're going to say. And so we also have the Fool, and they want you to just jump right in. Even though they're not giving you anything emotionally, they just want you to jump right in. We've got Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, Aries, and more Aries. Yeah, see, these are weird cards to come up together, right? Like the Ten of Cups is here, but the Four of Pentacles tells me someone's holding back. What they're choosing to hold back the 10 Cups. It's a choice, right? The minor arcanas are always a choice. This person's choosing to hold all of this happy, joyful energy back, but maybe they're waiting to see what you're going to give them. All right. I'm going to leave this right here. Thank you so much for being here and watching. I appreciate you always, always, always. If you can find it in your heart to give me a thumbs up or hype this, that would be great. I'm going to go for now, but I'll be back because I am always back. You guys know it. Love ya. Bye-bye.